I knew nothing about Asia. I had never been in Asia. I had no affinity with Asia. I thought, oh my God, I get a job offer in Hong Kong. Let's go and look. I'm Charles Drapers. I was born in the Netherlands. I grew up as a kid in a Dutch family, and I went to Dutch university, so I was pretty much Dutch. You know? My job led me to a proposal to come to Hong Kong. I took one day off, so I went on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And Monday I was back to work, and nobody knew about that. I said, okay, I'm willing to come. I'm willing to give it my life in Europe and come to Hong Kong, and I trust the challenge offered by my future employer in Hong Kong. But if the day comes that I don't like it, I will move on or go back. And that was in 1994. But that day that I had a feeling like I have to go back never arrived so far. So here I am. My employer in Hong Kong was a famous Belgian designer of bags, and he was having a company already in Hong Kong, in Tai Kok Tsui. He showed to me the way, and he taught me how to deal with factories in China. With him I made my first trips to the Chinese mainland to see how factories operate, and that was the whole day traveling by car over bumpy roads. And then at some time they decided to move to another place, and then I had the opportunity, with the knowledge that I had acquired from him, to do it by myself. I went on with bicycle bags, which is of course very Dutch. The Netherlands is a country with 18 million people and 23 million bicycles. People just don't transport themselves. They go to grandma and they have the children with them, and they go to school and to work, and they need transport solutions. This is all done here in Hong Kong, designed in Hong Kong, manufactured on the mainland, put on a boat and shipped to the Netherlands, to Belgium, to France, to Germany, and so on. So here we have a double bag, which is put at the backside of the luggage carrier of a bicycle, so that people can put in a lot of stuff in here, and also on the other side people can put in their own bag in here, and like this you can carry up to 60 something liters. It's a lot. You can imagine that you go for a nice ride along the Tolo highway, let's say from Tai Wai to Tai Po. Such a beautiful bicycle path. You don't need to carry that many things. So then you have a small bag, and then you have this in front of your handlebar. You can put in some things. So have your mobile phone here, then you see the map. Okay, I have to go this way, this way. So all kind of solutions around the bicycle. Here you make the decision to set up a business, and you make a plan, and then you go to the government, and in a day you have a company. It's very fast. While in the Netherlands, there is a lot of bureaucracy and a lot of rules and a lot of taxes. So that makes it quite complicated. Even for a Dutch person, I speak the language, still it is complicated for me. And here, even as a foreigner, even if you don't speak the Chinese language, as a foreigner, it's still very easy to do it. And that makes a very big difference. And if you don't know how to do it, even without internet, there are so many agencies who help you. Hong Kong Invest, Hong Kong Trade Development Council, Economic and Trade Office. There are so many people to help, and they're willing to help, and they're supporting. I like to facilitate artists, and that can be visual artists, but it can also be performing artists, bringing Hong Kong artists to places overseas and bring foreign artists to Hong Kong. I'm very happy with the link between the Netherlands and Hong Kong, where we have the Hong Kong taxi, which is for me an icon. And I remember taking those taxis in the 90s with a flag full of 12 Hong Kong dollar. In those days, the taxis were so abundant. I think sometimes in Tai Kok Tsui, more than half of all the cars were taxis. It's a part of Hong Kong life and Hong Kong style. When you come here and you have always been focusing on other cultures, and then suddenly you are dropped down here, that first you have a language issue, second you have a food culture issue. Obviously I didn't eat with chopsticks, so I had to learn that. And as I was living in Tai Kok Tsui, which was at that time a very local environment, it was excellent to start to learn the language, and the way people act with each other is different. As people in Hong Kong work so hard, time is very precious. So there is a kind of hierarchy on how to spend your private time. Hong Kong people tend to be more critical about how to spend their time, and they might have a kind of priority list for the Friday night, what to do, where to go and whom to meet. Yeah, and it's a matter of making high enough on that priority list in order to meet your friends or to go to some place. 好多謝香港 because Hong Kong has brought a lot to me and is still bringing a lot to me. I married here in 1998 and our two sons were born in 2000 and 2002. It was Hong Kong who gave me this, and I'm very grateful for that. It's very nice to raise kids in Hong Kong. Parents in Hong Kong are very dedicated about being a parent. So that is also encouraging a lot already. Schools are very much involved in education and extracurricular activities. There are parents and teacher associations, and the teachers are very passionate about bringing over that enthusiasm about learning to kids, more so than in the Netherlands or in Belgium. Yeah? So in that sense, it's a good place to start. And you see then that once they go to university, if they go to university, that they are far ahead of their counterparts in Western Europe. They have learned about discipline and also about enjoyment, both. So again, it's a good place. In 1996, there was a person who came to me and said, look, Charles, in 15 years, China is going to be much more important and much more dominant in the world. And I said, okay, well, that remains to be seen, let's see. And he proved to be right. And now I say, look now ahead 15 years. How will Asia be? How will China be? And then I say, yeah, future is here. Come and enjoy it. That's what I do.